I'm starting this video by saying I am not editing it. It is going up in its full glory, for better or for worse, because I have no time to do any kind of like editing or whatever. And also, guys, I'm just going to add in here that my channel intro is not going to be on this video because I'm going off of a new phone and I don't have my intro saved anymore, so I gotta find a way to like download it, and I don't know, maybe I need to make a new one. Anyway. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan, and this is now the 8th time that I have filmed a full update video for my channel, and hopefully it won't be the 8th time that I fail to actually upload it, because I just have no time. Even when I'm not editing my videos, it takes so long to like upload the video into my like app and then have it like process and then upload onto YouTube, and then I have to like go in and title it and do the tags and do all this other crap and make a cover picture for the film. And I don't know how stay-at-home moms are able to like be career YouTubers and take proper care of their kids and themselves and their houses and everything. Like, I don't know how you all do it, because I never have time. I'm constantly moving. I am constantly chasing after my toddler and my baby, and my toddler gives me shit, okay, if she ever sees me on my phone. Like, she won't even let me take pictures of her. So anyway, I'm like, and I can't hide in the bathroom because she finds me there. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed by being a toddler mom that I don't even have time to be overwhelmed that I'm a toddler and a baby mom. Anyway, so I'm going to try to make this quick and simple. This guy needs to go down for a nap soon, but I will show him to you all towards the end of the video. But we're gonna do an update about him, we're gonna do an update about me, and we're gonna do an update about my breastfeeding journey. So, right, update about him. He will be 8 months old this Saturday. Time is flying. I have no idea how I have an 8-month-old baby right now. It blows my mind. He has been eating solids since he was 5.5 months old. We wanted to wait until 6 months. I wanted to wait until 6 months, but he had all the signs of readiness there. Like, he had the pincer grasp and he did not have the tongue thrust, and he was sitting unsupported. He started sitting unsupported when he was like 5 months old. So he had been sitting unassisted for a while, and I wanted to wait until he was 6 months old because I know it's better for their bellies, because they can still have like leaky gut before 6 months old, but 5.5 months is good enough. We did a mixture of like solid foods and purees, yogurt, liquid type foods, soups, that kind of thing. But he now no longer likes purees. He's been off of purees since he was about 6.5, 7 months old. So now we only do solid foods. He eats everything, thank God, because my toddler was a picky eater straight from the bat. But he eats anything we put in front of him, which is awesome. He is, let's see, so he will be 8 months old in a couple days, but we had his 8-month checkup when he was 7.5 months old. I don't know why they scheduled it so early, but when he was 7.5 months old, he weighed 10.5 kilos, which is like 23.2 pounds, I think, and he was 70.5 centimeters. Don't ask me how many inches that is, but basically he's, I think, in the 60th percentile for length, so like average, but he's above the 97th percentile for weight. So he's a little chunk. He loves to eat. This guy eats. This guy eats so much. He takes anywhere from 28 to 36 ounces of milk in a day. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I only produce 25 to 27 ounces of milk, sometimes like 24 ounces of milk in a day. So some days I'm able to produce enough for him. I think it was yesterday or the day before, I actually froze my first 4-ounce bag of milk because I had too much milk in the fridge. So win for me, but really, like, I'm a just enougher. The only reason I was able to freeze some milk was because he happened to have a day where he just didn't drink as much. He ate a lot more solids that day. But yeah, and then there are days that he eats like 36 ounces of milk in addition to like 3 full breakfast, lunch, dinner meals. And on those days, they are the days that he ends up getting up a lot in the middle of the night and won't settle unless I feed him. And so I give him supplementation. I give him formula in the nighttime because I'm not about the game of listening to my baby scream bloody murder while I'm trying to thaw frozen milk. I gotta stop him. Hold on, you guys. Come, silly boy. My toddler is napping in the living room, so I don't want him to wake her up. And I mean, I don't want to even heat up milk that's in the fridge, so it's just easier for me to give him formula. And also, I usually like run out of milk and have to give him formula anyway. So lately, he has been eating closer to the 36-ounce end of the deal because he's waking up so frequently at night. And to that end, we are definitely like balls deep in Leap 6 and the 8-month sleep regression. Hi, we are so up to our ears in the 8-month sleep regression right now, aren't we? He is hypermobile. I don't remember what I had like detailed in my last video, but I mean, this guy started crawling just before he turned 6 months, I think. He's been crawling for like a month now. It started out as an army crawl, and now it's like a full-on race across the floor, just like your standard crawling. And then like two weeks ago, no, it was more than that. 3 weeks ago, he started pulling himself up to standing consistently. And then 2 weeks ago, he started cruising. So he'll pull himself up on furniture and then like walk around the furniture by holding onto it. And now, in the past week, he has been letting go of the furniture. Like he pulls up and then he lets go and just stands on his own for a few seconds. And he'll also do this thing where he'll straddle between furniture. I mean, look at him. I cannot get him to sit still. Where he'll hold on with one hand and then he'll like reach for a toy or he'll reach for another piece of furniture. And I swear, you guys, he's like, it looks like he's trying to get ready to take a step to get from holding onto this piece to holding onto that piece. So I don't know. I was looking at my daughter's Instagram and she followed the same timeline with rolling, crawling, standing up, cruising. She was also, I guess, like on the earlier end of normal for all those things. But she could stand unassisted when she was 10 or 11 months, and she would take like 1 step or 1 or 2 steps and then fall before she was 1 year old, but she didn't actually start walking on her own until she was a little over like a year old. I think she's like a year and 1 week old. She just preferred to crawl, and I am still hoping for the same thing with this guy, but I don't know, because like he seems pretty unstoppable, and I'm just not exactly thrilled about the idea of having a baby walk before a year old or like before even 10 or 11 months. I don't know what's gonna happen. Hey, hi. This is how we communicate all day long. He claps now. He does it with closed hands. He goes like this, but anytime you clap, like when he's at the high chair, he'll go like this and clap along, and he'll talk back to you if you go to him. It's funny, isn't it? Oh goodness. Oh my word. Is that a tooth? Oh my god. He has 2 teeth now. He sprouted both of them when he turned 6 months. I think he's got some other ones on the way because he's drooling a lot more than usual, and he's chewing on his fist a lot more than usual. I'm sorry, I have no notes. I don't, like, I'm not following a pattern. I'm really sorry about that. But we talked about his eating, we talked about his mobility. I don't know, other than that, he's a normal baby. He's, you know, got his 2 teeth and stuff. He loves playing with my daughter. He loves playing in general. He loves, like, we have this like sound system. It looks like a DVD player, and it does have a DVD disc drive, but it's the machine that also operates our surround sound system, and we have it on top of our coffee table underneath our TV. And he loves, like, we never use the disc drive, so it's like, you know, whatever, but he loves pressing the button to get the disc drive to come out, and then he like messes around with the disc drive where he's always like pulling the flap open to look into the disc drive. It's like his favorite thing in the world. He also loves any kind of label. Like in our bathtub, we have a jacuzzi bathtub, and so there's a warning label on the inside. I don't know if we can take it off or not, but it just basically says that you have to make sure that if you're going to run the jets, the water has to cover the jets in the tub before you turn them on, otherwise you can blow the motor. Anyway, he is so obsessed with trying to like grab that text off of the side of our tub. It's really funny. Anyway, he, like, whatever like mental development he's in right now, he's very much a mommy's boy. He's super clingy. I can't really like leave the room without him searching for me, crying for me, following me. So yeah, and he is always falling, always. Like, I cannot tell you guys how many times he has hit his head. It's to the point where I bought a soft helmet for him, and I'd say at least 50% of his day he has this soft helmet on, because he's the more, oh my god, if that wakes up my toddler, the more tired he gets, the sloppier he gets with his motions, and then he just starts falling everywhere, and like, I need to preserve his brain. So anyway, that is my update about the baby. Quick update about me. I weigh the most I have weighed actually in my entire life right now. I weigh exactly as much as I did the day I gave birth. I weigh 77 kilos. I am 11 kilos more than I should weigh right now. And it's like evenly distributed around my whole body. Like, my boobs, of course, are much bigger. Like, my arms, like every part of my body has this layer of fat. Like, my belly, I still have like cellulite belly. My butt, my thighs, it's just everywhere. Like, even my face looks a little fat. And I know it's because of the breastfeeding. And I know that because, like, I eat well and I still work out when I can. So I can feel muscle tone under it all, which is like the only thing that's helping me keep my cool and not completely just want to jump off a cliff for having to live in this body that I'm so uncomfortable in. But like, I've been doing a lot of core work because I was feeling some weakness there, and I feel all the strength back. Like, I have the strength in my body, but I'm carrying so much weight that it's just, it sucks. It sucks so much, and I feel, quite honestly, super disgusting. And I'm really down on myself. But like, logically, every day I talk to myself, and I know it's the breastfeeding, and I know it because my body did the same thing with my last baby. I looked and felt and weighed the same thing, the same, until my periods came and my milk dried up, and then within 2 months, I was actually below my pregnancy weight. So I hadn't thought much of it because, like, I lost my supply at 14 weeks with her, so I didn't really have much time to think about, oh, it was lactating and stuff. But I've talked to a lot of people, I've read a lot of studies, and anyway, it's like, I was always under the impression that if you breastfed, you'd lose weight, or at least you wouldn't gain weight. I was down to almost my pre-pregnancy weight within like 1 to 2 weeks after giving birth. And it was the same with my daughter. By 2 weeks, I was to my pre-pregnancy weight. And then within a 1 to 2 week span, like when my milk came in and I was really like giving it a solid effort with breastfeeding, I gained all the weight back. And then, like, for me this time around, from like 1 month postpartum to 5 months, 6 months postpartum, I was stuck at 74 kilos, but since like the 5 to 6 month period, I have gone up to 77 kilos without doing anything different. The only thing that changed was I found a way to increase my supply to being just enough. I went from like making maybe 16 to 18 ounces in a day to my 25 to 27 ounces per day. And I gained 3 extra kilos in that time. And I swear, it's just my body. It's how my body works. It holds on to the weight and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm continuing to eat as healthy as I can. I've started drinking these meal replacement shakes, mostly because I don't really often have time to make like really nourishing, healthy meals for myself. So I started ordering this meal replacement powder called Huel. It's spelled like fuel, but with an H instead of an F. And I really like it. I think it tastes really good. It's convenient and it's easy for me to put down. So I've been doing that, and I've been having like salmon for dinner, or anyway, I don't know. I have granola in the morning. I just try to eat healthy and sensibly and work out when I can. And in terms of working out, I was actually doing really good about going to the gym 4 times a week. My husband and I have our week divided, so like Wednesday night and Friday nights are his nights, Monday night and Thursday nights are my nights, to like go to the gym, and the other person stays home and feeds the kids and bathes them and puts them to bed. And then Tuesday nights we take our kids swimming, and then Saturday, Sunday we split it, so we each make sure we have time to go to the gym. But for the past few weeks I have not worked out at all because of this sleep regression we're in. My son is waking up. 2 nights ago he woke up 13 times in one night, but mostly it's like 4 to 5 times he'll wake up. Last night he woke up only, two times, which is awesome. Oh, my little chunk. Unfortunately, it took me an hour to get him. It took me an hour to get him to sleep both times. So, like, I'm wrecked. I'm so tired. And on top of that, oh my God, you guys, we were having the hardest, most epic time ever with my toddler. She used to go to sleep around 6:37 and sleep until 6:30 or 7, and it was a dream. It was so easy. And then all of a sudden, and around March of this year, she started fighting going to sleep. And when I say fighting, I mean she was physically abusing us. She was slapping, she was clawing, she was biting, she was kicking us in the face. We tried everything. We tried reading to her, we tried not reading to her, we tried reading her books, we tried singing her songs in the dark, we tried not singing her songs in the dark. We tried doing quiet time in her room. She has blackout shades. So we'd go in there a half hour early, thinking, okay, because it's, you know, the time change here, it's light out really, really long. Maybe she just needs to be in a dark environment for her body to recognize, okay, it's nighttime. We tried everything, and the result was the same, and it was getting worse and worse and worse, to the point where it was taking us 2.5 hours to put her to sleep, and she wasn't going to bed until like 10 at night. And ever since March, she has been waking up at like 5 a.m. in the morning. And between fighting a toddler for 2.5 hours, having the toddler go to bed at 10, and then being up to 13 times at night with an infant, and then getting up at 5 a.m. with aforementioned toddler, who, mind you, would be in just like a horrible mood because she didn't sleep enough at night, I was losing my damn mind. But we finally figured out the problem was her daytime nap. She was sleeping anywhere from an hour and a half to 3 hours in the middle of the day, and like she was not able to get through the day without that daytime nap. And she still can't. She still can't. I mean, she's sleeping in our living room right now. But what we realized was we need to limit it to only 40 minutes, and then we need to wake her up. And yeah, she's like grumpy for the rest of the day and whatever. But she's starting to make a really, really good transition, and it's getting much, much easier. So she's now getting used to only sleeping 40 minutes. And as long as we limit her nap to like 30 to 40 minutes, putting her down is very easy. It takes us a half hour, and she sleeps until 6:30 or 7. So she's back to sleeping 12 hours at night. Praise the gods, because if we were going through the 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. situation, and I was going through the sleep regression with this boy now, I would die. literally, I would die. Like even this morning I woke up thinking to myself, I cannot believe I need to be alive today. But then I had 4 cups of coffee and I'm golden. So that's my update. I'm gonna just like transition into breastfeeding. So that has been going really well. I already touched upon how my supply is going well. I don't remember what I talked about in my last video. I haven't had time to watch it, but just like for those of you who are interested, because I've gotten some comments on my Instagram page, the biggest things that made a difference in getting my supply up were figuring out how to pump in a way that my body would respond well to it, and drinking mass amounts of water. I drink 3 liters of water a day. If I don't drink that much, I see a very noticeable dip in my supply. I log all my pumps in the baby tracker app, so I have like my pattern, how much I make each time, blah blah blah. Drinking water has been like what tipped the scale for me, but what made the biggest difference was figuring out how to get my body personally to respond to my pump, and that was I pump 6 times a day. I pump once at 3 a.m. and then 5 times throughout the day. I go at like a 3 to 4 hour interval between pumps, and I pump 40 to 45 minutes each time. I have to pump that long because I learned that I get 2 really big letdowns at like the 42 to 45 minute mark. That's really what increased my supply, was just being patient. And like, I generally have to pump air from like the 30-minute mark to the 40-minute mark, where no milk comes at all. I don't even look at my flanges anymore. I used to obsess about it, and I used to like massage a lot, and I still do massage sometimes, but really now I don't. It's just time. It's time and pumping at a low suction. I use the Spectra S1, as many of you guys know, and I have the setting, I leave the setting at cycle 70, vacuum level 5. And that is the maximum suction level for the massage mode on the pump. I never go to expression mode. I have somewhat elastic nipples, so I learned that if I use the expression mode, which is the more powerful, longer sucks in like the pump cycle, it draws too much of my areola into the flange, into like the funnel of the flange. And what that does is, from what I've read, and this makes sense because it's what happens to me, it closes off, it like pinches off the milk ducts. So my body's actually not able, like the pump is not able to get the milk out of my body because too much of my areola is getting pulled into the funnel. But if I keep myself in expression mode, where it's just short pulses, like the massage, massage mode, my areola does not get sucked into the funnel, and so I'm able to express a lot more milk. It just takes more time. So that is that. I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm trying to think of, oh, right. In my last video, I know I did say I was going to do a review on Freemies and Pumpin Pals. Here's my review. I never use either. The Freemies are really convenient. I use them in a pinch if I'm going to be in public and I need to pump. So like if we went to the beach over the summer, I'd bring my Freemies with me so that I could just stick them in my bikini top and pump like that. And or like if I have play dates at the park, or if I'm just going to the park in general and I don't want to spaz and freak out about getting home in time to pump, or at least getting into the car in time to pump, I just bring my Freemies so that I don't have to worry about it. Problem with the Freemies is they damage my nipples. I use the Fit Me insert to bring the Freemie size down to what size I am with my other flanges. I don't know if it's just a poor fit. Maybe I need to not use the Fit Me's and just use the Freemies as they are. But I use a 21 millimeter flange size. And so, oh my God. So Sander, oh my God. So I use the 21 millimeter Fit Me insert for my Freemie, and hey, please be careful. Oh my God. Oh, and my toddler's awake now. So, I don't know, but my nipples get damaged. I don't nearly get as much milk as I normally do, and I end up getting clogs if I use them too often. So I just don't use them unless I'm in a pinch. In terms of my Pumpin Pals, I tried using them. I love how they feel. but they do not work for me. I get clogs every time, which is just such a shame because I really do love how the Pumpin Pals feel. They feel so good and so natural. But again, don't get as much milk and I get clogs. And let me just tell you guys, like, I don't ever want to get a clog ever. I'm able to go 7 to 8, sometimes 9 hours between my pumps and I don't get clogs. But if I use Pumpin Pals, and sometimes even when I use my Freemies, even if I've only gone 3 hours between pumps, I get clogs and it's horrible. So there's something about how they close off my milk ducts or something that like I'm just not emptying properly. I'm gonna go get my toddler so that she can come in here. But because I want to talk about my weaning plan. So I'm gonna end this video and then I'll come right back. So now my toddler's in an absolute rage. You guys, this life is so frustrating. Like, I am so sick of listening to screaming tantrums all day long. If you are the mother of a toddler, please send me prayers because you guys should see how much gray hair I have now. Just in the past year. Anyway, okay. My weaning plan. So, right now, as of literally today, I am freezing 1 4-ounce bottle a day, and then my plan is every Sunday I'm only going to give my son formula, and I'm going to freeze all of the milk I produce that day. And so what that equates to is that I end up freezing 2 bottles a day. Yes, at the expense of giving my son formula, but I've decided that I think once I'm 9.5 months postpartum, I want to start weaning because I am losing my freaking mind. I cannot, like, I really want to make it to a year, but my husband is sick of it. My toddler is sick of it. My son is so mobile that I can't be pumping 6 times a day for 45 minutes and chasing after these 2 humans. Trust me, I could have gone to 1 year. I could have gone beyond 1 year if I just had the baby, but it's just not working for my family anymore. And it's wearing on me so mentally, not the actual pumping and the rigmarole of that. It's dealing with everybody and their bullshit, honestly. Like, I just can't do it. And I can't force, my husband would support me no matter what, but I see how much he despises this and how much stress it puts him in. I see how stressful it is for my toddler. And I can't really put people through this anymore. So my plan is to keep pumping 6 times a day until I'm 9.5 months postpartum. And in that time, in these next 6 weeks or whatever, I will have saved up enough milk to at least give my son 1 bottle of milk per day until he's a year old. Ideally a little bit more, just kind of depends on how my production goes and stuff. But then once I get to 9.5 months, I'm going to start cutting back my pumps. Very, very slowly. So I don't plan on quitting pumping at 9.5 months. It'll probably be closer to 10.5 months. So he will still be getting, I'll still be stashing a little bit of milk and he'll be getting a lot more than just 1 bottle a day. But, yeah, I think that taking this pumping journey to 9.5 months and then conceivably more than that because I have to slowly wean down, I think that's pretty dang respectable. And I don't know if I'll be able to keep my supply. It would be awesome if I could just pump 2 times a day. I could totally do that. Morning and night. Oh, that would be awesome. But I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't gotten my period yet, but with experience with my daughter, to look back on, once I got my first period with her, my supply cut in half, and then once I got my second period, so once I got my first period, my supply cut in half, and this boob went dry. And then by the time I got my second period, this one was producing 1 to 2 ounces a day. And so I just quit. I don't know what the deal is going to be this time. I've heard some women be able to maintain 2 to 3 pumps per day for a long while, but they were also oversuppliers. So I'm an undersupplier / barely just enougher. I don't know what is going to happen, but ideally I'd be able to still pump 2 times a day until he's a year old. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know if you guys can hear, but she is scream raging out there. So I'm gonna end this video, but that's the update. Pumpin Pals, I'm giving them away. Freemies, I'm gonna keep them until I'm done pumping, just in case I need them. Gonna wean in a month and a half, and that is assuming I don't lose my mind first, because juggling a baby and a toddler is 50% awesome and 50% actual hell on earth. So I'm done complaining. I love my kids. I'm just really, 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 really tired. Stay tuned for my next update though. It'll probably be when this guy turns a year. I will recap whatever ended up happening with my breastfeeding journey. I will talk about how my fitness and weight loss is going after I have weaned. Please pray that I have good news to share, because I really am just sick of living in this fluff. That's it. Okay, bye guys.